Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I think this video may be shocking for a lot of people, myself included. I didn't intend for this to be the last video I shot on the Redsea Reefer, but that's just how things turned out. So to keep things very short, I've been dealing with the apartment issue for like the past year and a half. Essentially, what the issue is so I live on the 3rd floor. There's one more floor above me. Their floors are super duper creaky, and like at night when they make steps, you can like hear the nails coming out of the floors. Like it's so loud that it just wakes you up. And on top of that, I've already been like a light sleeper in general. What I've done is pretty much like adjust to the neighbor's schedule and kind of sleep after I guess when they go to bed. So anyways, management told me that they would repair the floors after the neighbors moved out. Fast forward about like 3 weeks ago, neighbors moved out. Didn't really hear any repairs happening. 1 week after, a new guy moved in, so I went to management and said, "Hey, I thought you guys were like repairing the floors." They told me to repair the floors, we had to do it from your apartment, so they kind of like flipped it on my head. And yeah, it's just like a really shitty situation, very shitty management. I've been like venting to my coworkers. Oh, man, I'm writing like the nastiest review on these guys when I leave. They're just like awful. But yeah, so what that comes with is my lease is ending in 2 months, and I'm gonna have to move out. So the tank has to come down. What will happen in the future? I think I plan on getting an apartment or a townhome for like a year and maybe look into like housing options. So I'm probably gonna go a smaller tank just because I know I'm gonna move out, and moving like a big tank already sucks. And it kind of takes like a year for your tank to even get dialed in. So I'll probably go with something like a nano again. That'd be kind of cool going back. And then in the future, I'll probably get a really big tank, and yeah, we'll see from there. Alright, so to jump right in, you can see my tank's kind of like packed. I've put a lot of my plates onto the sand bed. This was so my cleanup crew could clean up those like towels, because I actually found somebody who's interested in buying a bulk amount of my corals. It's kind of like a last minute thing. I posted on like one of our local Dallas forums. He reached out about feel like colonies possibly. And yeah, this crazy thing was it was the guy that sold me the pink lemonade frag. Yeah, he's actually selling at the Aquashella show. So yeah, he bought like a lot of my corals. Did a really good price. I think he got a good price. I think it was really good for both of us. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting. All my corals getting sold at Aquashella. It's kind of funny. So who knows? Maybe one of you guys will get one of my pieces or something. That'd be kind of funny. So yeah, let's see. For the most part, I put up a listing, and I want to say I sold over, I guess after yesterday, because he took a lot of them. To be honest, I sold almost like 80% of my corals. I want to say sold about like half the fish. I'm gonna worry about like the equipment and tank and all that afterwards whenever I get all of the livestock out. So yeah, really sad to see these guys go, especially like my yellow tang. I raised him since he was a baby from biota. My blue mandarin over there, I'm gonna have to rehome him too. A lot of these fishes, they have been with me since they were like small, or yeah, I mean like even Pixie over here is from my the OG little I forgot like 5-gallon Pico tank I had. Like that was him. He's been with me for like the past few years. Overall, the tank has been up for just a little shy of 2 years. Whenever I think back on my nano tank and what I accomplished in 2 years, and this tank and what I accomplished in like roughly 2 years, I'm pretty happy with the progress, to be honest. And kind of just loving the hobby, growing and learning. Got into SPS. I can pretty much say whenever I get the big tank in the future, is for sure going to be SPS dominated. Still love like LPS and everything, but SPS has for sure taken my heart. For the nano tank I'm planning to do, I'll probably keep some mushrooms. So like there's a little nice jawbreaker I have, has like a bunch of like little babies spinning off on the side. I'm going to do a mushroom and acan tank. I have a really nice like rainbow acan there in my sump, and I can finally take it out. I was scared my like tank would eat it up because he went ham on one of my Dragon Soul Favias, so I had to move it into the sump. Yeah. So, don't really know what to say. The tank's going down. Overall, very good progress over the years. Met a lot of awesome reefers. Sold a bunch of frags, and I think that's about it. I'm just gonna talk about some of the corals and how it started. So a lot of the forest fire digi was from my old 20-gallon nano. Back in that tank, it grew more of like a tree structure, more like that going around the back. Brought them over in here, and in this tank, it's very odd. They started just encrusting. So mainly just encrusting for that guy. This Pinky the Bear frag I've had since also my last tank, my 20-gallon nano. Started off as a single, like 1-inch branch, encrusted for like just based on a rock for like a good year, and then finally it started taking off, and now you can see all of the branches that have grown on just this single one. It's pretty crazy to see how far this one has come. A lot of my hammers, I remember like this yellow one there in the back, I bought from somebody's tank because I noticed it was like, it fell onto the sand bed because it was like such a tiny hammer. It was like smaller than my pinky, and now he's grown like, who knows, like maybe 8 heads or so. So really cool stuff. A lot of the stuff I picked up from the shows. Awesome stuff. I did sell some of like the little Gandhi frags already. Somebody was really interested in that, so I sold it to him. A lot of these other Gandhis I've had since they were like roughly a little bit smaller than like this frag too. And it's pretty cool to see like how much they grew and their skeleton structure and such. Some other accomplishments, got my little 2 clownfish to breed, and it was kind of cool seeing them lay eggs and seeing the little babies hatching that night and stuff. That's pretty odd. So yeah, overall I can say I was pretty happy to see this tank kind of flourish, and it's kind of a shame I'm shutting it down just right when it gets to like the peak where, like, you know, things were starting to look so good. No more bubble algae. We were fighting that for like a whole year. If you guys been following the channel, you know the struggles on that. Dinos on the sand bed, just so much stuff. But of course, you know, all good things have to come to an end. Alright, so I wanted to highlight like how big some of these colonies were while I was getting them off the rock. So even though my pearl berry didn't look that big, look, this is like how much has grown. Pretty big colony there. Man, it was a struggle to get this guy off the rock. Actually, I was like trying to cut around the rock to not impact the corals as much. So there's that guy. I'll put this here on the sand bed for a second. Like, this is my Pinky the Bear colony. I mean, I've shown you guys this so many times, but just look at it from the top down. It's awesome, just beautiful. The polyps on this one are like yellow, but I really love like the way this one grows, like the structuring. It's not so much like a table, it's more like I think it's called like a bottle brush, I believe is what they call it. And it's pretty crazy because whenever I frag this guy, the frags are usually a lot more pink compared to the colony itself. And you can see like the new growth tip, which is like all white and stuff, so that one's really neat. I'll put this one back real quick. And then just a little overview of the hammers. Like I was talking about before, this green one has always been really massive. I bought it as like a huge colony, so that one's like an exception. And then this one is the Pikachu Acro. I'll try and dry my hands real quick, block out the sun a little bit. So yeah, you can definitely see how nice this one looks in the back. Has always been my biggest regret in the tank, probably, was this Pikachu Acro and how I could never get it to look really nice in the front, but the back view looks awesome. Here's this other Acro colony. I'm trying to cut around this. This one's a little tricky because it encrusts like so much on the rock. I'm trying to cut around so you can kind of see like those awkward white marks on the rock. And yeah, just wanted to highlight a few of them. Alright guys, so fast forward to, as you can see, an empty tank. I sold a lot of the rock, most of the corals for the most part. I did do a trade with a local reefer. Shout out to Israel. He bought most of my cleanup crew. We did we did a trade. So he had some of these little polyp genesis rocks, I think they're called. And I was like, you know what, that's perfect, because I wanted to talk about, kind of mention again my next plans. I'm not like totally getting out of the hobby. I'm starting up another nano reef, so that was like kind of perfect to seed up the new tank while I don't have the new rocks that I'm going to build for the new aquascape in my little tank. So on this rack here, these are a few of the corals I decided to keep. Most of the stuff on the left half of the rack, sorry. So the Gani, some little hammers I got. Yeah, a lot of my corals, they ended up going to. There was one guy that bought a bunch, and I guess I finally like ran into one of those like chop shop kind of coral groups. So it's kind of interesting. I got some hammers from him, but yeah, nothing like I expected. They were like, the stems were like super tiny and skinny, and yeah, very interesting stuff. But I mean, I guess you get what you pay for the price. So the 2 clownfish, I do have a guy that I'm saving them for. He's like setting up his tank. He's waiting on the sump, so I'm holding them for him. Yellow Tang has already sold. I asked the buyer if I could keep him for a couple more weeks just so he could do some cleanup around the tank while the cleanup crew are gone. But yeah, I still have my very nice mushroom, sold off some of my little baby ones. A lot of people were interested in that, so that's kind of what the tank looks like. And I think that'll be the last of it, or at least I'll show you guys. In the next video, I'll probably talk about the process of how I went about shutting down the reef tank, what I did, how I priced things, etc. But of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.